everybody? It's Ben back in Southern California here with another great drive. It's a very special day. It's a very special drive in a very special car. Matter of fact, this car was specifically built for the driving right here in SoCal.
Okay, California, now you're gonna get it. Another better idea from Ford. Mustang GTCS. Mustang's California Special. California made it happen. And now Mustang GTCS can happen to you. Standard features include a mean-looking blackout grille, rectangular fog lamps, competition-type hood locks, special GTCS striping, wicked-looking side scoops, and the wild rear-end styling of the famous Shelby GT, with spoiler and horizontal taillights, all at a Mustang price. 5 Ford power plants to choose from. Mustang GTCS at California Ford dealers now.
I'm speaking, of course, of the 1968 Mustang California Special. So to know what's so special about this car, let's rewind just a little bit. Back in 1965, the Mustang debuted and they expected to sell about 100,000, when in fact, by the end of the 1965 model year, they sold almost 700,000 units. By 1968, 40% of all Mustangs were being sold right here in SoCal, and to celebrate that market, they decided to come out with a Mustang that was meant to be a more affordable Shelby look. And that's what you see right here. Only about 4,000 of these were made, and the California Special really is a package that includes these awesome little side scoops here, the stripe, of course the badging on the back, that spoiler. You're gonna see hood pins on the front and front fog lights. All of that are part of this beautiful special vehicle. Mostly, it's an appearance package. It's available in all the same engines and transmission configurations that the 1968 Mustangs were available in. You also have a blackout grille with a deleted pony. There's no horse on the front of this Mustang grille, which is notable, especially when you consider that the Mustang is the progenitor of the pony car. It's the first American sports coupe that's meant to be affordable, right? And again, this vehicle with all of its styling, with those fog lamps, the hood pin, you've also got this stripe along the side leading all the way back to those cool side scoops. This is meant to really evoke the feeling of driving out here in the hills, on the windy roads, in the sunshine or in the clouds. Following that back, you go back, you see the side scoop. There, you have the badging, California Special. Now with all these appearance features, you might think that this is just a Shelby that anyone can afford. And from a style perspective, you're not totally wrong, but it's so much more than that, because just like any other Mustang, this was highly customizable. Matter of fact, any driver in California could get a California Special that is just as unique as they are. Just right for them. Some of the things that were optional here and that this car actually features are the upgraded front disc brakes. Not only that, this one also features the Deluxe wheel covers that you see right here. So that's the exterior. But if you want to move to the interior, there's even more that's beautiful and special about this vehicle. With the Deluxe interior package, you have all this beautiful wood applique on the doors, on your dashboard, and on the optional console up there. That console features 2 individual map lights, and the interior of this vehicle is particularly special because you'll see this beautiful bench seat giving you more room. It still has that kind of bucket feel of the other seats, but that bench makes it a lot more spacious, just feel a lot more premium. This vehicle also features the optional AC, which nice to have, but an expensive option back in the day. Another feature that this vehicle has that is an option is the remote adjustable side view mirror. Most side view mirrors at the time, you'd have to reach out of the vehicle to actually physically adjust that way. This one has this beautiful chrome joystick on the interior. You can make all the side view mirror adjustments from right inside the vehicle. And one of my favorite features about the interior of this vehicle are these really cool flip-up door handles. Never really seen anything like them. They flip up and back like that to activate. Only really available in like the 67, 68 model year. A really nifty feature about the inside of this vehicle. All right, and over the badging here, the California Special badging, you do have that spoiler, and on the back, you've got Shelby style tail lights. Those are paired with a pop-out racing style gas cap. You didn't have to screw it off, it popped right down for quick fueling. Those are all style cues that came down from the Shelby, which again, may lead you to that assumption that the California Special is just a Shelby that almost anyone could afford. But it's also a true Mustang. It is highly, highly customizable. Tons of options that you could get in the California Special, just like you could get in any Mustang. On the front, not only do you have fog lights, not only do you have these hood pins up here, you also have a completely blacked out grille. And to finish that look, they actually deleted the pony off the front. This is the only Mustang that doesn't have a Mustang on the front of it. So when you bought a Shelby, you got the Shelby. You got whatever they gave you in that admittedly really impressive sports car. In the California Special though, you get all that Shelby styling, plus you get the Mustang customability. So the California Special could be as unique and special as the person driving it. The Mustang California Special was available with almost every option that could come in a regular 68 Mustang, with one exception. The California Special was only made as a coupe, not a convertible, not a fastback. And of course, you couldn't get an extra racing stripe on the California Special because it already had the racing stripe because it's a California Special. What you could get though was the Deluxe interior, which this vehicle features. I could talk about this beautiful vehicle all day, but that would mean I wouldn't have time to drive it. Let's get in. This is a beautiful vehicle. I mean, the Deluxe interior is just gorgeous in its own right. This wooden steering wheel is my absolute favorite. The wood appliques on the dashboard and the doors look really premium, really upscale. And I mean, all in all, it's just a gorgeous example of where vehicles were at in the mid to late 60s. You know, we borrowed this vehicle from our friend Robert, and he collects a lot of vehicles, but the classics, there's something so special about them because, and the way that he uses them, he collects vehicles, but then he also rents them out for commercials and movies, because nothing quite sells a time period like the cars that people are driving in that time period. And this one maybe more than most, because not only is it a slice of 1968 style, just perfectly preserved and served up on a platter, it's also a beautiful example of what it's like to live and drive in SoCal, especially at the time. You know, there's so much about SoCal and the roads down here. You know, there are these curvy mountain roads that are beautiful and just so much fun to drive, and especially in a spirited vehicle. But a vehicle like this, I mean, it does great in these mountains, and I'm glad to have the scenery, but it's really made for cruising. It's made to cruise along the beach at sunset, windows down, just enjoying that weather, enjoying the beautiful SoCal atmosphere. This is a true American cruising car. And again, while this isn't the original Mustang, it really, really holds true to the origin of the Mustang, which is the first pony car. They're called pony cars because of the Mustang. And again, a pony car being an American-made, low-cost coupe with a sporty feel. Listen to that engine rumble. God, I love it. Now the V8 that's present in this vehicle is the pretty standard engine in Mustangs of the time. There were larger ones. You could go all the way up to 400 and some cubic inches. This one's in the 280 range. Not exactly sure what the horsepower and torque on it were at the time of sale, but I tell you, even many, many years later, they're plenty. The whole thing about Mustangs, especially this California Special though, is that there's one for literally anyone. You only got a couple $1,000s to spend? No problem. Here's the Mustang for you. You got no price cap? No problemo. We got the Mustang that's right for you. We got deluxe options. We've got racing options. God, I love that sound. It's the type of car that makes me want to put on a pair of crushingly tight jeans, some leather boots, a white Hanes t-shirt with a pack of cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, and a bunch of pomade in my hair. It's just, it's the distillation of a time period and a place. Driving this car is like driving SoCal in the 1960s. I got that rear wheel drive pushing me forward. This V8 is more than handling these curves and elevations. It's got that great roar, that nice rumble to it. I love that. And it's just hard to beat these views, guys. If you haven't had a chance to drive in SoCal, it's worth the trip just for these canyon roads. But if you can find your way to renting something like this beautiful vehicle, what's stopping you? Everything in this vehicle is a joy. It looks great. It feels great to drive. Everything you touch just feels great to your hand. It's solidly built. It's got that great old engine vinyl smell. You can smell the motor oil, you can smell the vinyl, you can smell the gas as you hit the engine. It reminds you that driving is a full sensory experience. You feel the road, you feel the car, you hear the engine and the wind, you smell the vehicle and the air going through the windows. Cars like this drive so beautifully. They remind you that there are things out there that make you want to drive, that driving isn't just a chore, and that it's not just a functional thing that gets you from A to B. Driving is an experience to be savored. It's an easy cruising vehicle, but you hit that gas and it puts you back in your seat. You know that there's a V8 in this car. Now we're in an area that's around Mulholland Canyon and near Mulholland Highway, and it's a beautiful spot to find driving roads because you can drive Mulholland and have a great time. It's a beautiful road, but you take almost any turn and you're onto a brand new windy mountain road that you may have never driven before, and it's going to afford you views that you've likely never seen before. Vistas and mountaintops and valleys that are completely untouched to your eye until that day, until the first time you decide to drive that road. And again, so this vehicle is great on any type of road. If you have the chance to get behind the wheel of one of these, don't be picky just because you don't have straightaway cruising. It's great for these mountain roads, but when you get a straightaway, and you get to let that Mustang run, God. It is no surprise that this vehicle spawned an entire genre of vehicles. I'll let you know that when I was driving out here, I was thinking about how important the Mustang is to car culture and to just American culture in general. And as I was driving here, maybe the 30 miles that it was, I lost track at about 17 Mustangs. I drove past 17 Mustangs, or they drove past me. And that's not even counting the Camaros, the other pony cars that I drove by that would not exist had it not been for the trailblazer that was the original Mustang. And then this vehicle, very early into the Mustang's life, you know, only the third, maybe fourth, depending on how you want to count it, model year, the California Special is just, it takes that Mustang sensibility of affordable sports car, it puts the Shelby racing style on it, and says, here you go, SoCal, this one's just for you. When they first ideated the California Special, they were hoping to sell around 5,000. That was the goal. They only ended up producing a little over 4,000, and even of those, about 200 and some were rebranded for the Colorado market as high country specials. So this is an incredibly rare vehicle as well. Now this is the 3-gear automatic. It was available with a manual, which I believe was also 3-gear. This one's the automatic, but again, being a Mustang, you could get the California Special that was just right for you, and the driving that you want to do, and the driver that you are. I'll never get tired of hearing that. I have to admit, one of my favorite parts of driving this car is turning heads. I have seen every motorcycle that goes by, every driver and passenger that goes by, they're all turning their heads to get a better look at the California Special. And why wouldn't they? It's gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. I'm sure that I look just as pretty as can be cruising down the road in this vehicle.
What a drive. That is a beautiful cruising vehicle, perfect for some of the beach roads and a lot of this area out here in beautiful SoCal. That's our video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like down below. If you think you know somebody who might enjoy it, well, sharing is caring. And if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe. I'm Ben with Drive-In Media. Here's hoping you find what drives you.